Hello, everyone, and welcome. Today, we will discuss one of the most revolutionary fighter aircraft in military aviation history, the Messerschmitt Me 262 Schwalbe, or Swallow in English. This aircraft was the world's first mass-produced jet fighter and was used in combat during World War II. The Messerschmitt Me 262 Schwalbe, translated from German as Swallow, was a German jet fighter from World War II. It served as a fighter, sometimes a night fighter, bomber, and reconnaissance aircraft. This aircraft became the world's first mass-produced jet-powered machine to see combat. Between 1944 and 1945, German industry managed to produce a total of 1,433 Me 262 fighters. Now let's take a closer look at the technical aspects and combat use of this revolutionary type of aircraft. Work on jet propulsion began as early as 1938, when war was still only a possibility. At that time, Germany's leading engine manufacturers and junkers started developing jet engines. By June 1939, after extensive analysis of single and twin-engine configurations, designers settled on a twin-engine low-wing monoplane with engines mounted under the wings. In March 1940, a wooden prototype was created. At this stage, the aircraft had not yet received an official designation and was only known by its project number, 106S. Following this, the construction of 3 prototypes began. Apart from its jet engines, the Me 262's design was fairly conventional, with only a few distinctive features such as a triangular fuselage cross-section, swept wings, and tail configuration. In keeping with their characteristic pragmatism, German engineers avoided unnecessary complications beyond those posed by the power plant. However, the challenges they faced were numerous, extremely numerous. Initially, the Me 262 was intended to use an engine developed by BMW, but Junkers was quicker to deliver. On April 18, 1941, the Me 262 V1 took its first flight under the control of Fritz Wendel. At this stage, instead of operational jet engines, mock-ups were installed under the wings, and the aircraft was powered by a conventional piston engine. The Jumo 210G 1,400 mounted in the nose. This section was later repurposed to house the aircraft's armament. In the autumn, the second prototype took flight, and inspired by its success, the Aviation Ministry ordered as many as 45 units. By this time, the development of a new engine modification with 900 kilograms of thrust had been completed, and in January 1943, it was installed on the Me 262 V6. In April, the renowned fighter ace Adolf Galland test flew the 4th prototype and was so impressed with the aircraft that he proposed halting production of the Beef 109 in favor of mass-producing jet fighters. Some held even more radical views, suggesting a complete cessation of bomber production to focus entirely on the Me 262. By June 1943, plans were in place to begin mass production. However, bombing raids on factories in Regensburg and resistance from conservative military officials, led by Marshal Milch, delayed these efforts by more than 6 months. The refinement of the aircraft and the preparation of engines for mass production progressed painfully slowly. Over this period, several new prototypes and pre-production models were introduced. The 5th prototype featured a nose landing gear, which was later made retractable on the V6 model. By this stage, the aircraft's overall design had nearly reached its final form. In November, Hitler was presented with the Me 262 V6. Following the demonstration, he remarked, "This is exactly the type of aircraft that can and must be used for bombing Britain." This statement spurred the development of a bomber variant, though in reality, the modifications were minimal, mainly limited to installing 2 bomb pylons under the fuselage. A common belief is that this decision caused another significant delay in the aircraft's mass production and combat deployment. However, in reality, the bomber version was developed in parallel and did not interfere with the fighter's progress. In November 1943, the Me-262V emerged as the first armed prototype, serving as the blueprint for future production models. By April 1944, 12 pre-production Me-200 and 62A0 aircraft had been completed, alongside 13 prototypes. The first operational version was the Me-262A1, a versatile fighter equipped with 430mm Mk-108 cannons. That summer, a specialized semi-operational unit, E-Kito 262, Experimental Command 262, was formed to develop combat tactics and assess the aircraft's strengths and weaknesses. Pilots soon discovered the side effects of high-speed flight, including aileron deformation and a tendency for the nose to become heavy. It became evident that build quality was crucial at speeds exceeding 800 km/h. Due to dangerous control issues at high speeds, dive velocity was limited to 1,000 km/h. The biggest challenge for the Me-262 was its engines, particularly at high altitudes. Only careful throttle control and gradual altitude gains could prevent engine fires. In most cases, average pilots struggled to reach 8,000 meters. Additionally, the high landing speed, around 180 km/h, placed extreme stress on the main landing gear. In short, jet fighter pilots had anything but an easy life. Despite its shortcomings, the Me-262 had notable advantages. Pilots praised its ease of handling. Under certain conditions, it was even easier to fly than the Beef 109, and were astounded by its top speed, exceeding 800 km/h, an astonishing feat for 1944. Interestingly, the aircraft's speed varied with the seasons. In summer, the maximum speed was 820 km/h, while in winter, denser air increased it by nearly 50 km/h. A specially modified prototype, V-12, equipped with more powerful engines and improved aerodynamics, reached 930 km/h. Structurally, the Me-262 was an all-metal cantilever monoplane with a low-wing configuration and 2 turbojet engines. The wings featured a single spar and leading edge slats running their full length. Flaps were positioned between the ailerons and the central wing section. The aircraft had a single vertical tail fin and a retractable tricycle landing gear. The pilot's cockpit was enclosed by a transparent canopy that opened to the right. The aircraft was fully pressurized and equipped with an ejection seat. The Me-262 was capable of withstanding 7 grams forces and had an impressive horizontal flight speed of 900 km/h. In a dive, it could reach 1,000 km/h, while its landing speed with fully deployed flaps was 300 km/h.